Three-win Nobel Prize for showing how cells sense low oxygen. Three-win Nobel Prize for showing how cells sense low oxygen. Two Americans and a British scientist won a Nobel Prize last Monday for discovering details of how the body cells sense and react to low oxygen levels, providing a foothold for developing new treatments for anemia, cancer, and other diseases. Dr. William G. Kaelin, Jr. of Harvard Medical School and Dana-Farber Cancer Institute Greg L. Smenza of Johns Hopkins University and Peter John Raflick at the Francis Crick Institute in Britain and Oxford University won the prize for advances in physiology or medicine. Dr. William G. Kaelin Jr. of Harvard Medical School and Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, Greg L. Smenza of Johns Hopkins University, and Peter J. Ratcliffe at the Francis Crick Institute in Britain and Oxford University won the prize for advances in physiology or medicine. The scientists who worked largely independently will share the 9 million corona $918,000 cash award, said the Karolinska Institute in Stockholm. Scientists who worked largely independently will share the 9 million corona $918,000 cash award, said the Karolinska Institute in Stockholm. They revealed the mechanism for one of life's most essential adaptive processes, the Nobel Committee said. They revealed the mechanism for one of life's most essential adaptive processes, the Nobel Committee said. Cells can encounter lowered oxygen not only from situations like living at high altitudes, but also from things like a wound that interferes with local blood supply. Their response triggers reactions that include producing red blood cells, generating new blood vessels, and fine-tune the immune system. The Nobel Committee said scientists are focused on developing drugs that can treat diseases by either activating or suppressing the oxygen sensing machinery. Such manipulation could help in attacking cancer cells, experts said. Another payoff is pills to boost production of red blood cells in anemia, which can appear in people with chronic kidney disease. One such drug has been approved in China and Japan, and the filing for approval in the US is expected soon, Kaling said. Three win Nobel Prize for showing how cells sense low oxygen. Two Americans and British scientists won Nobel Prize last Monday for discovering details of how the body's cells sense and react to low oxygen levels, providing a hope for developing anemia, cancer, and other diseases. Providing foothold for developing new treatments for anemia, cancer, and other diseases. Dr. William J. Kaelin Jr. of Harvard Medical School and the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, Greg L. Semenza of Johns Hopkins University, and Peter J. Ratcliffe at the Francis Crick Institute in Britain and Oxford University won the prize for advances in physiology or medicine. The Sun will share the $9 million $918,000 cash award, said the Karolinska Institute in Stockholm. They revealed the mechanism for one of life's most essential adaptive processes, the Nobel Committee said. Cells can encounter low oxygen not only from situations like living at high altitudes, but also from things like wood that interferes with the local blood supply. The response triggers actions and include reproduce, generate new blood vessels, and fine-tune the immune. The Nobel Committee says scientists are focused on developing drugs that can treat diseases by either activating or suppressing the oxygen sensing machinery. Such a manipulation could help in attacking cancer cells, experts says. Another payoff is pills to boost production of red blood in anemia, which can appear in people with chronic diseases. One such drug has been approved in China and Japan, and the filing approval in US is expected soon. Expected soon, Collins said. Three win Nobel Prize for showing how cells sense low oxygen. Two Americans and a British scientist won a Nobel Prize last Monday for discovering details of how the body's cells sense and react to low oxygen levels. Providing a foothold for developing new treatments for anemia, cancer, and other diseases. Dr. William J. Kaelin Jr. of Harvard Medical School and the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. Greg L. Semenza of Johns Hopkins University and Peter J. Ratcliffe at the Francis Crick Institute in Britain and Oxford University won the prize for advances in physiology or medicine. The scientists who worked largely independently will share the $9 million $918,000 cash award. said the Karolinska Institute in Stockholm. They reveal the mechanism for one of life's most essential adaptive processes, the Nobel Committee said. Cells can encounter lower oxygen not only from situations like living at high altitudes, but also from things like a wound that interferes with local blood supply. Their response triggers reactions that include producing red blood cells, generating new blood vessels, and fine-tuning the immune system. The Nobel Committee says scientists are focused on developing drugs that can treat diseases by either activating or suppressing the oxygen sensing machinery. Such manipulation could help in attacking cancer cells, experts says. Another payoff is pills to boost production of red blood cells in anemia, which can appear in people with chronic kidney disease. One such drug has been approved in China and Japan, and filing for approval in the US is expected soon, Carlin said. Three win Nobel Prize for showing how cells sense low oxygen. Three win Nobel Prize for showing how cells sense low oxygen. Two Americans and a British scientist won a Nobel Prize last Monday for discovering details of how the body's cells sense and react to low oxygen levels, providing a foothold for developing new treatments for anemia, cancer, and other diseases. Foothold,稳固地点、立足点。Lose foothold, establish, secure a foothold, a strong position in business, profession, etc., from which somebody can make progress and achieve success. The company is eager to obtain a foothold in Europe. The company is eager to gain a foothold in Europe. Is eager to get a foothold in Europe. Is eager to obtain a foothold in Europe. To secure a foothold. Treatment. Emergency immediate urgent treatment 紧急医治 on the spot treatment 当场医治 therapy 治疗方法 Something that is done to cure an illness or injury or to make somebody look and feel good. She is responding well to treatment. She is still undergoing receiving medical treatment. Anemia 贫血 Anemia 贫血 a medical condition in which somebody has too few red cells in their blood, making them look pale and feel weak. She suffered from anemia and even required blood transfusion. Two Americans and a British scientists won a Nobel Prize last Monday for discovering details of how the body cells think and react to low oxygen levels, providing a foothold for developing new treatments for anemia, cancer, and other disease. 句子的主语 Two Americans and a British scientist 谓语 won 宾语 a Nobel Prize last Monday 时间状语 for 原因状语 details of 介词引导了一个名词性从句，用 how 引导。从句的主语的 body's cells 谓语 things and react providing 是一个状语从句 for 是需要依据的事情。anemia on spot treatment emergency immediate urgent treatment foothold Two Americans and a British scientists won a Nobel Prize last Monday for discovering details for how the body cells think and react to low oxygen levels, providing a foothold for developing new treatment for anemia, cancer, and other diseases. Dr. William J. Kaelin Jr. of Harvard Medical School at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, Greg L. Smetzer of Johns Hopkins University at Peter J. Ratcliffe at the Francis Crick Institute in Britain and Oxford University won the prize for advances in physiology or medicine. Advance 进步进展 advance in something. Recent advance in medical science. We live in an age of rapid technological advances. Progress or development in particular activity or area of understanding. Progress or development in particular activity or area of understanding. We live in an age of rapid technological advances. We live in an age of rapid technological advances. Advance 进步推进 advance 进步推进 advance 进步推进 Our knowledge of the disease has advanced considerably over recent years. Physiology 生理学 advance the scientific study of the normal function of living things. The Nobel Prize for Medicine and Physiology 诺贝尔医学和生理学奖 Physiological 生理的 The physiological effects of stress 压力产生的影响 Physiologist The scientists who worked largely independently will share the 9 million corona $918,000 cash award, said the Karolinska Institute in Stockholm. Corona 单数形式 corona, a basic unit of money that is used in Sweden and Iceland. They reveal the mechanism for one of life's most essential adaptive processes, the Nobel Committee said. Cells can encounter lower oxygen not only from situations like living at high altitudes, but also from thinking like a wound that interferes with local blood supply. Their response trigger reactions that include producing red blood cells, generating new blood vessels, and fine-tune the immune system. Encounter 遭遇遇到有指令人不快的事 They to experience something, especially something unpleasant or difficult while you are trying to do something else. We encountered a number of difficulties in the first week, run into danger, run into trouble, run into difficulties, 遭遇危险、麻烦、困难。We run into thick fog on the way home. Run into encounter altitude 海拔高度。The height above sea level. We are flying at an altitude of 6,000 meters. We are flying at an altitude of 6,000 meter. Altitudes 高处高地 a place that is high above sea levels. Snow leopards live at a high altitudes. Wound 伤口武器造成的伤。An injury to part of the body, especially one in which a hole is made in the skin using a weapon. The wound healed slowly. Wound 通常是指士兵。wound 士兵在战场上受伤，或指因蓄意实施暴力行为而受伤，比如 stab wounds。Injure 表示某人受到的意外伤害，如路遇车祸或进行体育运动时受伤，用 injure 或 injury。A man and his body were injured in the explosion. Many of the deaths that occur in cycling are due to head injuries. Injury wound. Interfere with 干扰 to stop or slow something, to make something slower or more difficult. The drug might interfere with a child's physical development. The drug might interfere with a child's physical development. I wish my mother would stop interfering and let me make my own decision. Trigger 发动引发触发 to make something happen suddenly. Some people find that certain foods trigger their headaches. The trigger for the strike was the closure of yet another factory. Generate 产生引起 to produce or create something. Generate a discussion 制造一场争论 generate new ideas. The company New England Electric burns coal to generate power. The company New England Electric burns coal to generate power. Generate vessel 血管脉管 vessel 植物的导管 a tube that carries blood through the body of a person or animal, or liquid through the parts of a plant. Almost burst a blood vessel.非常生气 to become very angry about something. Mom almost burst a blood vessel when I told her what happened. Vessel 大船、轮船、容器 vessel 血管、大船、轮船、容器 vessel ferry A Bronze Age drinking vessel 青铜时代的饮具 Almost burst a blood vessel Tune 调音给吉他调弦 Tune a guitar Tune 曲调曲子 Volume Track 一首歌曲 Tune 调音 Immune system the system in our body that produces substances to help it fight against the infections and disease. My immune system is not as strong as it ought to be. Immune 免疫的 be immune to 对什么什么有免疫力不受影响 Adults are often immune to German meals. You will eventually become immune to criticism. The Nobel Committee said scientists are focused on developing drugs that can treat diseases like either activating or suppressing the oxygen sensing machinery. Such manipulation could help in attacking cancer cells, expert says. Activating 是活动，使激化。 suppress 阻止压制镇压 suppress manipulate manipulation 暗中操纵操控 monitor supervise surveillance manipulation pay off 结果成果 pill 药片药丸 chronic 长性的 chronicle 按时间顺序的 kidney failure 肾衰竭 internal organs stomach liver pancreatic ovarian disease filing a black-cropped filing